Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, Monday, April 4th, 2022. You got to give me a little bit of grace. We switched months. It was a busy weekend. Just a quick recap and update on that. But before we go in, let's go in and see who's in the cafe this morning. Mama Java, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Lasagna, good morning. I think we're getting together this week, next week. Naraki, good morning, beautiful. Good to see you in the room. Tasha, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. Let's hop on the website, see if Auntie Java's over there. Okay, just making sure. And everyone is saying hello to Mama Java. Good to see you all in the room this morning. Very quickly, it was a busy, great, dope weekend. I see my brother Stan. Stan, you out of town? You out traveling, bro? Getting your vacation on? I know moms are transitioning. Keep let's say Mother Jenkins in prayer, you guys. Stan had mentioned that she was moving down south. So keep them in prayer and him as well. But Stan, good to see you in the room this morning, even if you're not local. Where you tuning in from, bro? But it was definitely a great weekend. I posted pictures. I had the opportunity. Let's start with Saturday morning. We are going to go into Mental Health Mondays. Dr. Brandy is coming in about 5 minutes, and we're going to ask you. And my sister Denasia is in the room. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. We're going to ask you in a couple of seconds to please make sure you think about how you're feeling today. And based on the Mental Health Monday model, drop one word in the comments that describe your mental health in the moment. So we're going to get to that in just a couple of seconds, but I attended the Bayard Rustin, and I always mess up the last part, but he was a advocate and activist for HIV and AIDS, and specifically Black and brown people dealing with it. And my good friend and brother, about 3 weeks or a month ago, inboxed me and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Boston. Would you come to the event?" I got caught up. And then, as he does in this space, Quincy Roberts hit me up the other day and said, "Hey, I'm responding for the breakfast. Are you going?" I was like, "Oh, shoot." And Saturday was free. So shout out to Quincy because I was able to go to the breakfast. And when I tell you, it was powerful. It was powerful. It was powerful in the fact that there were so many Black and brown, gay and lesbian, transgender people in the room. And it was a space that didn't seem judgmental. And there was a lot of recognition for years and decades of advocacy. And while we have the pandemic and there are other things going on in the world, HIV and AIDS is still an issue, especially among heterosexual Black females and also within the LGBTQ plus community, specifically Black and brown. And so I attended the event and I'm sitting at the table. And if any of you back in the day watched the show Noah's Ark, it was a show about 4 gay men, 1 straight guy, that one of the guys wound up getting with. And the character's name was Wade. So I'm sitting at the table and Wade walks in. Quincy and Corey can tell you, I like And so his name is actually Jensen Atwood. And when I tell you, a great, humble, deep, spiritual, just cool brother, he really, really is. I got the chance to hang out with them yesterday. We did an interview. Not going to cast the interview during the 9 o'clock hour. That's going to be a Java After Dark, and we'll let you guys know about that. But that was the weekend, Saturday, and then yesterday I did get to hang out with Jay and also Spencer. Spencer Collins received that award, the Bayard Rustin Award, for the work that he's been doing. A brother I went to high school with, and just a good brother. And we definitely rekindled a relationship this weekend to where we're going to be intentional about empowering ourselves and also empowering and educating our community. And so it was definitely a dope weekend. Let's go in and check in before Dr. Brandy comes in. Props, good to see you in the room, brother. I saw you called. I had to set everything back up. And isn't the lighting looking good? You all know when stuff looks good on camera, I got to get my affirmation from Props because he's always fussing when it's not. But good to see you in the room, bro. As always, Tasha is letting us know that she's feeling blessed. Tasha, I owe you an email with the DA, and also hold April 23rd at 11 a.m. for the next We Need to Know meeting. Sharon Cornelius, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Naraki, we said good morning to you. Pastor Barian, good morning. Good to see you. If anyone knows of any rooms for rent in Jamaica Plain, Pastor Marion knows someone that is looking for a room in Jamaica Plain, please inbox her and let her know. Isaiah, Title Team DJs and QuickTime Radio, good to see you in the room. Brother Kelly, good to see you in the room. Kelly, did you get your Cash App? I forgot to send it the other day, and then a couple of days later, remember. But Kelly, thanks for everything that you did with the cups. And Teresa, good morning. Good to see you in the room. What did you see? Good to see you in the room. Heidi, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for your you and Pastor Marion for the dialogue last week when we had Kamar Porter in the room on Thursday. There are more conversations that we need to have in the community, Black and Brown community, the faith community, the LGBTQ plus community, all the communities. Because when it comes to equity and rights to health and health access and mental health access, our philosophical differences might take a second or backseat. But thank everybody that participated last week. And so, yes, Heidi, I saw the brawl. And so let me just park right here for a second. Dr. Brandy's going to come in shortly. And when she does, I did send the email, so she should be good. Let me just check my sent folder, make sure it's in there. There she is. Speaking of it, there she goes. She must have just heard me said that. Before I bring her on I'll bring her on now. So let me say a couple of things in reference to violence and a few other things. I see my sister Shekinah in the room. Shekinah, good morning. Good to see you. And my sister Tamisha is in the room. So let me just say that I asked you all last week on Thursday to keep her in your prayers. She had a very evasive surgery, but she is home, I believe, and is doing well. Each day I talk to her, she sounds better and better. And so I thank you all for the support and prayers. Keep Mama Java in prayer as well, because, you know, her mother worries. Denasia said she is feeling intentional. And Props, your pin is coming. When I come, I don't want to mail it because I want to give it to you, bro. Here go Brandy. What's she about to do?
I just want to show Props this because I got a pin. I'm just saying.
Brandy, I thought you loved me. Brandy, I thought you loved me. I thought you loved me. You about to get me in trouble. I see my face turning pink and everything because Props is really going to get me. Christina, haven't seen you in the room in a while. Good to see you, sis. Good to see you, sis. All right, let me just touch on this a little bit. And I have guests all this week, so I won't have the opportunity to go into it deeply. But to Heidi's point, I did see the brawl. I did see the footage of the motorcycle incident with the car. Dr. Brandy, I don't know if you saw, there was an incident where I guess folks on motorcycles or whatever got into some sort of altercation with a guy in the car. The guy in the car attempted to hit one of the guys on a motorcycle, crashed into the fence, They went and like opened the door. They were fighting on the street. And I'm gonna get in trouble. And they were fighting on the street and whatnot. And it just, let me just also name a couple of other things. There was a penis found on the street last week. We did find out that it was unfortunately a young man that was that had mental illness issues and severed himself. Hold on, y'all. Jesus, because I just had, you can't talk about stuff like that and just not. Anyway, and so last weekend we had that, or last week we had there's another incident, unfortunately, Dr. B, where there was some beef between two areas, and tombstones have been desecrated in the graveyard, kicked over, bullet in, from what I understand. But then one of the groups went and picked up the tombstone and put it and moved it somewhere. And so I only bring this stuff up here because we are dealing with issues of violence still in Boston. We are still dealing with issues of mental health. And we're going to address the violence issues on April 23rd at 11 a.m. And I just needed to speak to that because Heidi brought it up. Don't think because I'm not being public about it and out here fussing and using the F-bomb on one of my live videos to try to get folks' attention. No, I'm in emails and got a commitment from the city. I have a point person who was Dr. Rufus Falk. And so anyway, Dr. Brandy, I didn't mean to go too deep into that, but Heidi asked about it, and I haven't really had a chance to give a whole lot of commentary to that. So I just wanted to give a little bit as we're getting ready to transition.
No, it's real.
I mean, it is real. It is real. Stan is saying hi to you, Dr. Brandy. Props.
Yeah.
No bootlegging. No bootlegging. I don't want to mail you the pin, bro. If you're cool with me mailing you the pin, I'll mail it. But, I might be able to give it to you in a couple of weeks.
Well, props. I got mine. So, yeah. I guess he'll mail it.
No, because Prop designed it. Prop basically placed the order. All I did was put the Java with Jimmy credit card.
What I'm hearing is want. What had happened was that's what I'm hearing. I'm just saying.
Now we're not hearing too much of anything. I will take care of you, Props. You already know, brother. You already know. Props, I'm not playing that video because it was just mess.
Yeah.
But
and plus I think most of us on this line, we don't need to see the video to know that these things happen and occur every single day. And actually something I was talking about with some family last night, because there were other incidents that happened kind of where I grew up and stuff, and we were just like, what is going on? Like, what is really good out there, and are people getting the help they need when a simple, you cut somebody off turns into a violent act where someone could have been killed, or was, and so that's where I think at least I land on these things, is kind of what are the services, supports, ways we need to lift and raise our voices to where these don't happen. Because one thing we know is that summertime typically equals, now again, we're coming out of a pandemic, but summertime typically equals more events, more people, more activity occurring. And so something we do need to address and talk about is how do we make sure that as more people come out, more activities occur, more things are happening, that people do it in a safe, supportive way that does not lead to violent acts. And so that's a real conversation. And so I know, James, I have it later, but yeah.
I agree. And I mean, and I'm in the wrong, where we at? Lord Jesus, that was from Friday. But We're
It's
here.
all right. It's all right.
We're here for
Look,
Mental Health Mondays. I can't talk this morning. Dr. Brandy, I don't know if you saw some of the words so far. I've seen restored. I've
mm,
seen I thought I
I see a
saw
lot of. I saw restored. I saw reflective. Saw a lot of
hopeful,
R's. Hopeful.
wealthy. Prop said
Yeah.
wealthy. Denasia said intentional. Teresa said calm. Shekinah said reflective. Okay,
So
so
I
we
got one.
well,
I
oh,
got one today, y'all. So motherboard, don't send me no emails. So I'm just gonna say it in advance. So last night was the Grammys, and y'all know I'm from Georgia, and one of my songs, back in the day was Outkast. Outkast, I just love that group,
get ready,
and they have
props. Get ready.
they have a song called Roses, and if y'all know the lyric, it goes, "I know you like to thank your don't stink, but lean a little bit closer. See, the roses really smell like poo, poo, poo. Oh, roses really smell like poo, ooh, ooh." So for me this morning, I'm feeling like, right? But now I like acronyms. I love to use acronyms. So for me, this morning is I want to make sure to give space this week, this month, because it's my birthday month, y'all.
Yes, yes.
For
Hold
I
on.
want to give space. I want to give space for my self-care. That's the A. S. My happiness. That's the H. My inner peace. That's the I.
Yeah.
And my time. That's the T.
Mhm.
So y'all can fill in the blanks, but that's just how I'm feeling this morning is I feel like but in a good way, right? Y'all don't even know. Caroline.
I had to stop it before they kick us off, Jesus. But
Yeah,
no, I mean,
like, but no, but I mean that's the space I'm in right now. Is like I'm reclaiming that word, and I'm just that's where I'm moving. I got
Stan,
songs.
look, Stan, thank you for letting us know where you are. Stan is down your way, Dr.
All
Brandy. He's
right,
in
all right,
GA.
Stan, bring back some of that heat, okay? Like bring it back.
Listen, it is so you brought up that in a text you were talking about like this week or last week, rather, you were feeling like, caca or whatever. And one of the things I picked up out of there is we have to figure out a way to balance, to be available to people and
Mhm.
allow access, but then also have these times where, and a couple of folks are in like props where I utilize do not disturb. Like
Yeah.
I got hip to do not disturb, and Dr. Brandy, I was on it for like 3 days to where folks is like, yo, you
Yeah,
good? Like, and
you
you can
know,
see it.
but you gotta do it, y'all. You gotta do it. You
Morning,
gotta
bro.
just turn off the phone or whatever that is for you and reconnect with you, right? So there were times where I felt like the other way,
Mhm.
like really like just mentally,
Wait a minute, hold on.
physically.
Let me get clarity. So this week you feel like
Yeah.
what's the difference? You
So
got to
it's no, it's more like DA. So it's not it's DA. So I feel like
props
like
get you, girl.
other weeks I felt like okay.
So the distinction
Don't
is
be
DA
clutching your
is like
pearls, Sharon Cornelius. Now y'all know, but so I'll give an example, right? So it was years ago. I had fully ruptured my Achilles tendon
Lord Jesus.
in my left leg. I mean, hurt, y'all. I was hurt. I was hobbled, but it was on Christmas Day. So I was like, oh, I can't be hobbled on Christmas Day. I still got houses and food and stuff to do. So I'm literally driving around on my ruptured Achilles tendon the whole day. Get to my dad's house. My bonus mom, my stepmom, is a nurse. She sees it, it's blue, it's black. She's like, no, we going to the hospital. We spent all day in the hospital. Fast forward, New Year's, I'm getting surgery. But y'all, I had surgery at Foxborough. So, I had surgery by the doctor who do it on the Patriots. So I knew I was in good hands. But either way, when they do the surgeries now, as you know, you're kind of outpatient. Surgery in the morning, you kicked out in the afternoon.
Yep.
And what they did was they gave me Dilaudid, which is essentially one of the most powerful drugs. It's a blocker. And so
Isn't
I
that what they
didn't,
give people to stop seizures?
it's
A lot in
powerful.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
It may be different.
I don't even know, but it scared me how powerful it was, right? And they told me as I was leaving and drugged up that the blocker gonna wear off in 12 hours. That's what they said. And and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Boop, 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 boop. So it's now 2:30 in the morning, y'all. The blocker wakes up. It wears off so fast that I literally wake up out of sleep crying. Like in pain. It was so painful because again, the blocker wore off. So I felt all the openness of the Achilles tendon and the repair.
Uh-huh.
But before I reach for the phone, so I'm feeling like right? And not in a good way. But before I reach for the phone, literally the internal conversation I had as tears are running down my eyes are, I don't want to burden nobody. I don't, it's 2:30 in the morning. I can't do that.
Mhm.
Props, that's another conversation. But um, so, I don't want to disturb nobody. I don't want to, and it's literally, y'all, I'm feeling like the crud of the crud, but I'm internalizing and saying I'd be a burden. It's too early to bother somebody, all that good stuff in pain, right? And so in that moment, I needed assistance, but because of my own stuff, didn't think
Uh-huh. I see where you're going. I see where you're
I
going.
could reach out for that assistance, right? And in the other end of the spectrum, we need to give space for ourselves just for our own health and well-being, but we don't because we're in this space where we feel that's our duty, that's what we've been called
So
to
so
do.
let me ask you this, and
Yes.
I've talked to a lot of people about this before, but is there a little bit of pride in that? Because I
Oh,
had I had to
absolutely.
honestly, I had to deal with that myself because you deal with this thing like if I don't do it, it might slip or it might not get done. And I had to say something to bruh before you, during you, and after you. If something needs to get done, it's going to
It
get
will.
done. And so that
Done.
when you just said that, that reminded me of the fact because I think a lot of times we won't own the fact that in that thing of wanting to be available, there is a little, and it's not bad pride, but
Mhm.
there is some pride in there because you do take on this thing. Well, if I don't do it and I don't stay
It
committed,
won't be right. It won't be right, y'all. It won't be right.
and that's
Like
where pride
if
comes in
if
at.
if I don't wake up and handle these 11,000 emails, they won't get sent. But even if they don't get sent, is the work still gonna happen? Like,
It
and again,
is.
I've had to do it. I've been there, done that for sure. And Charlotte, yeah, I understand. I could have called the doctor, but I couldn't call the doctor. I could have called the emergency line that they gave me. I could have done
Sean
a
just
lot of things.
basically
I
saying
could
she
have
doesn't
taken
go play with that pain.
no, I could have taken the medication. I could have taken the medication, but I didn't want to because I was like, I did not like the impact and the effects of it. And the fact that again, I'm one of those I read up and I was like, ooh, ooh,
But you
ooh,
were
no.
prescribed and you were
I
dealing with
know, and that's what I'm saying is again, I understand and acknowledge that that was my stuff, right? It was my stuff. I was literally in physical pain, but because of my stuff, I could not take the medicine. I delayed calling family and friends. Like it got to the point where literally my mom was like, this is ridiculous. And literally sent my sibling to stay with me for
it.
like, flew her up to stay with me for 3 weeks because she was like, you're not going to do right. And she was right because I wasn't going to do right for myself. So that's why I'm celebrating now. Again, it's now 8, 9 years removed from that, is that I'm in a place where my is healthy. That's all. That's all. And props, I saw you there with the pastor. That's a different conversation. Different.
So
We'll have that, towards like, I don't know, herbal month or something.
that's this month. This is April. 420 is in
Oh, yeah, that's right.
16
Oh,
days.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll have that the week of the
Hold on.
yeah.
I got the count. I can't see from all the way over here, but we'll
I
talk
think
about
it'd be
that.
like 423.
That's going
Yeah,
to be
because
that
yeah,
might
because
be a
my
Java
birthday,
after dark.
y'all, just so everybody know out in Java land, is 4/22, Earth Day. Earth
Fall 4/22, and that is a
4/22, Earth
Wednesday.
Day.
It's a
Yeah, I think I
Thursday.
don't know. It's a I thought it was a Friday. Is it a
No,
Friday?
because the 25th is a no, that's June. I'm getting the months mixed up.
Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
Friday. It's a Friday, y'all.
let's
Friday.
go to can I ask a question? And Diane, put clarity what you said here. I don't know if you referenced to the high school. I graduated from that high school. I'm embarrassed and I'm committing to doing what I can. Or I don't know if it's a figurative high school. I think when Dr. Brandy was saying something earlier, Rena is feeling pensive. I go there often, Rena. Just
All
in deep
right,
thought.
Heidi. April birthday.
Oh Jesus, 419. But let's go to Diane's point here before we get ready to close up. Could it be that sometimes we don't feel worthy of the same care we provide to others?
Yeah, it absolutely. And again, that's where it goes to, when you think about your self-portrait, and I'm gonna, send a blog post of this, but when you think about your self-portrait is how do you see yourself?
Mm,
And then how do you perceive others see you and your actions and things like that? And so for me, it was wrapped up a lot in I'm typically the one that friends and others go to. And so it was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't, nah, they busy. Literally, they busy. Like I'm searching and they busy. Or, oh, it's too early. Like, and so yes, it is wrapped up in that is how do you perceive yourself and how do you perceive your value? Think about that. Like, what is your value? Again, your perception of your value in your friend groups, in
mm.
your workspaces, in your places of worship. Like, think, I mean, and that's a real question because we often think about ourselves like front facing, but then do we internalize and really think about how do we perceive when we walk into spaces, how do we perceive our value and what we're giving off to others? And so
We do
it's
need to
real.
be we need to be cognizant of that. And to to Pastor Marion's point, pride or unhealthy pride will definitely kill you. There is, I think where Dr.
Pride before the fall.
pride before the fall, but you feeling like today is that sort of healthy pride because in everything we got to have balance. You can't have, I would suggest that you not employ too much pride to where you think, as Dr. Brady said, that you don't stink. But you also got to have pride in the fact that, you got up this morning and you were able to do what you were supposed to do. And that breakfast you made looked good, taste good, smelled good, so take pride in that. And to Pastor Marion's point, we do have to take care of ourselves. Diane is referencing to Wilmington High School. There was a violent attack on a student of color that was in the news. I didn't see that. Diane, they were talking about the incident that happened into intersection of Adams Street and Gallivan Boulevard at that McDonald's there. That's been a center of a lot of incidents there. But Dr. B, I think we're walking away with today that we have to do self-examination because a lot of the things that you refer to, you can't really do without looking at yourself, seeing where you are. And we have to, I guess, measure how we value ourselves. First of all, self-evaluation and make sure we're not doing self-devaluation. And then we also have to give ourselves, I guess, grace and space to feel like the but when we feel like we need to be able to accept assistance. And I'm thinking about this. You remember a few weeks ago, I had the issue with my hand, and folks were like, "You need me to come by, bring stuff, da da da." And I was like, "I'm all set." And then one of these wonderful little people over here that had my address, I get a knock on the door at Amazon, and it wasn't for the hand incident, but I had another incident, and they sent a whole bunch of, they almost sent an apothecary over here with bandages and whatnot. And so I said, no more, no more, no more. Because I think people like us, it's sometimes, I guess it goes back to pride in real time thinking about it. It's just hard for us to accept the help because I think we're aware that people are having their own issues. And so we don't want them to take from their reserves in order to help us. Like we're good, we got us. And so this is in real time. This is in real times that I'm having these thoughts. So,
Yeah.
um,
And
uh-oh.
it is real. It's real. Look, and Stephanie, what you're naming here is, and think about that too, is how does it make you feel when you hear from somebody you're the strongest? Do you have a sense of pride and like, yes, like think about that in terms of when you heard that from your cousin and you're the strongest. Did you say yes? And then the second part is, do you ask for help? Like,
To Stan's
did you
point,
think about that? And the thing, and Stan is talking about, being strong can be a crutch because you'll say, I'm strong, and you use that as a crutch for why, when the cracks start showing, when things are not well, you use that as a crutch for not
yeah,
seeking help or
values point.
rejecting the help because you're like, oh, I could have did this myself. Well, if you could have did it, why didn't you? Like, why didn't you? Right. And so it's important. But as Heidi, emphasizes there is check on your strong friends because y'all, like, strong people have hurts and pains too. They just maybe better at masking it than
Yeah,
others.
and it
And
becomes
that's
a
real.
practice. It
That's real.
becomes a secondary, almost intuitive practice because you just, oh God, this goes back to my first therapy session. She said to me, you had to survive, and survival became habits. Habits became your character, and your character became, I think she said, who you are.
Mhm.
And I was just, oh God, I lost it right there on screen in front of her. But we begin to develop these habits somewhat out of survival, somewhat, I believe, also just out of normal practice. So folks are really going in today. Stephanie, this is why we're here, to give different perspectives. Quincy, I just got to deviate real quick. Quincy is in the room. This brother, our Director Roberts of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ plus advancement, did a wonderful job this weekend in facilitating citations and just Quincy, I love you, bro. Man, everything I said in that post. Appreciate him.
Ali, I love it. All the comments coming in. Heidi talking about that's a whole message. Masking the pain. It is.
No
No
one
one
sees the
sees the
crack in
crack.
the armor because the first thing you do is you get a crack. You're out there yourself rubbing it out.
You putting some what's it? Epoxy? What's the thing?
Epoxy.
Epoxy. Yeah, that's it. Y'all, look, don't give me no tools but you put that epoxy in, right? And I don't know about y'all, but I got nice, wonderful bay windows. You can see one of them behind me. If you don't put that sealant in right during the wintertime, the wind is just like,
You're gonna
and
feel like
then
you're in the bay.
and then you try to put up the plastic and the tape and stuff. But again, but again, that's masking it, right?
You didn't get it fixed.
You're not fixing the root, the issue,
Uh-huh.
in the ground. So you try to put up curtains, you try to do all of that to keep the air out, but it's still seeping in
It's
over
still
time.
seeping in.
And then I got these high ceilings, so it don't help, right? And so it's still seeping, it's still seeping. And then over time, what you'll realize is that duct tape or whatever you don't put up there,
Opened up,
it's done discolored. And so think about
cracking.
that in terms of these things keep seeping in, and your duct tape is like holding on by a prayer. Y'all remember the story I told you when my sunroof fell off? We put duct tape for a whole year,
Yeah,
thinking that would keep out the rain and elements, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't.
you got to fix
Over
it.
Because if not, legitimately, you will end up a day with too much air coming in. It'll come in too much. Because as you have what, I don't know what it's called. Anybody in construction, where you have, like, you puncture something, you have a little hole. That hole can end up like literally leading to systematic problems in your system if you don't get it fixed, like in your duct work and things like that.
I don't
And
know.
James looking like, I don't know. But
To me,
no,
she may know because she used to
think
do
about it.
HVAC
You
work.
gotta fix the root,
The
right?
root.
Like, literally, I need whole new windows. I need to be taken out, put in, but that costs too much, right? Like, oh, it
But it's an
costs,
investment because
but it's an investment for the long term. But it's
temporary.
hard
Listen,
because
we're
a
gonna
lot
close, we gonna close it here.
It's an
Temporary.
investment, y'all.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no.
sorry. Y'all
Good.
about to make me get in this morning.
No, temporary inconvenience for permanent improvement.
Y'all about to make me get in this morning.
I'm dead. I'm dead. That's right there. We're going to take the offering and get ready to go home. Listen, folks, for those of you that are tuning in for the first, and y'all are faithful, because I don't know what happens at about 9:35, Dr. Brandy, but folks get ready to go to work. They leave the house. So I don't do. They do something. What did Lasagna say? It costs more not to fix it. So make that investment now. And then Pastor Marion said all of the patching is the epitome. Oh, all of the patching is the epitome of pride. That could okay. We're gonna have to wrap that up right there because Pastor Marion, that we could stay for another half an hour on that point. Listen, everybody, we are here every Monday at 9 a.m. with Dr. Brandy. I told Dr. Brandy that we need to get back to kind of getting some themes together, but we're not doing that until we have a PDF of a some sort of 1-page, 2-page notebook or something for y'all to use. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this today and this week. Try to walk in the DA. Okay. Think about and practice. What are your self-care? How do you take care of yourself? What things make you happy? Your family, your friends, your workspaces, what little things? Because sometimes you'd be like, ugh. What about your inner peace? What work have you done on you on the inside? Do you still carry pains and thoughts and feelings from when you were a little person in this world and in this space? And then lastly, your time. Time is so valuable and we don't get it back. And so think about
Mhm.
that as we walk into this space. Think about the and duh when it comes to your mental health.
I got a way of making sure that we get it out there right and don't get in too much trouble. Here
In
we go.
too much trouble. See, that's why I'm trying not to, right? Compare and contrast, right? So
More.
again, the S for me, and again, you can come up with your own acronyms and words, but self-care,
Uh-huh.
happiness,
Uh-huh.
your inner work,
Uh-huh.
and then your time.
So practice your
Yes. Yeah. And then props. See, you could go props put in smoke. So self-care, me, like my inner, others, right? K being kindness, and then E being how do you do it every day? How do you walk in that every day? So yeah, see, props. I'm gonna take your thing and
self-care, happy inner peace, and time. Thank you, Lasagna, for giving the clarity. Sharon said good trouble. Yes, that's good trouble. We just wanted to make sure you had a visual to remember that. So self-care, healing, inner time. Did I get it right?
yeah,
So,
I mean
happiness,
healing,
happiness,
happiness.
happiness.
It again, it's your acronym. Make it whatever is relevant for you.
Get your boy.
You healing, okay, and you healing and you healing others too
Mm-hmm.
through second,
Contact healing.
secondary contact. Okay, all right.
Heart to heart,
Anyways,
no, so let me, Lord, forgive me, Jesus. Lord, no, that's not right. That's not right. All right, I'm getting off of here, Jesus. Diane, it's so good to see you in the room. One of our original charter members who was very instrumental in ensuring that folks had the updated information about SNAP benefits. So Diane, good to see you in the room. So remember this week, compare and contrast your self-care, your happiness, your inner, and your
your
time.
time,
Because
your time.
listen, and one thing Bernard Bragg taught me, and when I waste it, it comes in my mind, is the allotment of time is a lot of time predicated upon what you do with what is currently being allotted. When I was asking him about, God's grace and stuff like that, and he was like, what you do with the time you've been allotted, that may contribute to how much more time you get allotted to get some things together. So time is very, very important. You can't get it back. You have to value it. And like, I'm learning that. Like, it took me 50 years, but me and my time, I'm like, and some folks may not get it, but I got to do what I need to do for me in order to be available and do what it is that we need to do together. So with that being said, I'm going to go pay a couple of bills, Dr. Brandy.
Yes.
Um,
Like
and
Charlotte said, props, contact and agree, and I leave you with the.
Dr. Brandy, get off my screen, Jesus.
Look, we had to act up a little bit. Come
We
on.
had to, but don't
Yeah.
forget to get me the
We
write up
can't
for this so we can
look, we can't be all serious,
mm-mm.
but all the time. But
there's
yeah,
there's too much going on. So we got to have, as we surmise it, as Black Joy, as
yes,
Black Joy.
yes. So
Thank you,
y'all,
Dr. Brandy.
go be this
Uh,
week. Go be Dutch this week. All
leave
right.
it what you said.
And I'll see y'all next week. Happy birthday, all Aries and
Rachel.
Taurus
Rachel's
folks.
birthday is either today or tomorrow. I got to text her, make sure, but I want her on when we say it. So Rachel's birthday
Yes.
is this week. There's a couple of other birthdays this week, so we will
Happy
make
birthday,
sure.
Rachel and Heidi. Our birthdays are coming up. Whoop,
We'll,
whoop.
we'll see. Y'all will be on before I'll give y'all's. Then I'm
Yep.
just trying to get one little graphic ready up here for the next announcement. All right, Dr. Brandy, thank you so
Yep.
much.
Bye, y'all, and props just for the road. Yep. Bye.
Dr. Brandy, get off my screen. I love you. Somebody walked up to me this weekend, they literally like, can I get that? I was like, yes. Okay. Dr. Brandy, love you, appreciate you.
Bye.
And remember to be
Bye, y'all.
that was definitely dope. I love these sessions with Dr. Brandy and just checking in from a very I don't know what the word is, a very organic but real approach to talking about our mental health. And I'm glad that we can walk away with those nuggets. One other event I wanted to mention that I attended this weekend and had the honor of being one of the sponsors was the Connect event that, any and everybody in the Massachusetts film industry, sound and stage and all of that. There were actors there. It was definitely dope. So shout out to Malik Williams, The Secret, Society of Creatives, Evelyn Brito, and also Vlad. I don't remember his last name. And Charlotte, I'll take care of that this week. And also, I wanted to let you all know, and we had Dr. Cornell Brooks here a couple of weeks ago. Don't forget that this event is this weekend, beginning on Thursday evening. And then I just got a flyer from Dr. Brooks about the voting rights panel that's taking place on Friday morning. I actually have a conversation today at 1 p.m. at the team from Harvard Kennedy School, because we will be going live on Friday, as long as we can work out all the technical difficulties. Because when I went to do my recording with Jensen and Spencer yesterday, my camera didn't want to act right and I was hot. So I'm telling you all now, that recording was done on the computer with the Apple camera, and not too happy about the aesthetics of it, but the information that they both had to share was important. And so that's it for me this morning. Don't forget this weekend that this event is taking place, and you can go and register here, bit.ly/ and remember the bit.ly text is case sensitive. I keep all of mine lowercase, but it's lowercase bit.ly/ capital TROTTER 150, celebrating the Monroe Institute 150th anniversary. All right, that's it. Definitely for me. Some dates tomorrow morning. Your Healthy Java, Dr. Ronke will be with us, and we're going to talk about the impact of stress tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And then on Wednesday morning, I have Eugene Snaberg, former White House staffer that was President Obama's liaison for the Father Friendly and Fatherhood program. He just left TD Jakes, and so he's going to be with us on Wednesday morning. And then on Thursday morning, I have Yahaira Lopez and Domingos de Rosas, who will be with us for an update on Methadone Mayo. And then next week, we got Alex Goldstein from Faces of COVID. And then on Thursday, I've been talking to you all about the fact that there is going to be a Java on the waterfront, Java on the waterfront. I don't know what we're going to call it. But the team that I'm working with around equity and making sure that we have access and we know what's available and we utilize the entire waterfront from East Boston all the way down until we hit Quincy. They're coming in on the 14th. Then that next week, we got some folks coming in. And then that next week, we start our monthly with Mayor Michelle Wu. Brian Worrell will be in the room that week. And so we're booking right now into the last week of April. And so shout out to the team that's making that happen. I'm getting off of here because I feel like I'm rambling. Let me just, Natasha was at the event on Saturday, sitting there taking her notes. So if y'all see her on screen soon, or I don't know, doing something in the background, it was good to see you. Do you know about the event at MGH on the 29th? I do not, but I probably do because Cindy probably mentioned it. If it's the movie, Props, you better not put out no bootleg version of the Java with Jimmy Penn. Hansel and Gretel are stressing because they have MCAS testing on Wednesday. Third graders stressing, not good. Well, you know what? We might need to talk to Miss Crystal again. If Props emails you, Sharon, Rachel Keys, Rachel Clinton, it's her birthday this week, I believe, or this weekend. Props, get off my screen. Natasha, it was a wonderful event. It was not my industry, but excuse me, I learned a lot. There were so many musicians and directors and producers and actors. I was just like, wow, packed room. So shout out for those that did that there. Bring some third graders on. I want to do, honestly, you all, I wanted to do some youth focused programming for the week that the young people are on vacation. Melanie, oh my God. Good to see you in the room, Melanie. Good to see you in the room. I actually want to do some youth programming during the week of vacation. And so there's a lot I want to do. But I just need to get it over to the team, make sure they know how I want it done, and then they can execute it. And I'm getting better with that. I'm getting better. All right, I'm getting off here, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. with your Healthy Java. And I need you all to take a survey. So I'm going to introduce that tomorrow. All right. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace.